Welcome, family, to our monthly virtual conference. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. I'm glad to have everyone tuning in. I need you all to do me a favor. First, hit that like button, then hit that subscribe button, and share this video podcast on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and any other social media that you are on. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This video podcast is available in three forms: audio, video, and as a written text in order for us to reach our audience. I encourage all of my listeners to please follow me on my Medium page so that you can have access to this transcript and all of my sources. To find my Medium page, just go to my YouTube page, and next to my photo on the far right side, it says more links. Click on it and scroll down until you find my Medium page. Then click on it and look for the exact title of this presentation. Those of you who are serious about doing business with me, then send me your email address to my Facebook inbox, and I will email you everything that I do online. We host our virtual conference every last Saturday of the month until we are able to raise funds for our film project, which is Hood Liberator Made in Chicago. The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. This is a solution-based docudrama based on my experience growing up in the inner cities of Chicago. It's also based on my revised book, and also the reason why I created the grassroots community activist movement. This is our Black Panther moment, except it's not owned by Disney, it's owned by GRCAM members. Join our crowdfunding on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal page for this historic film project. The donations will help us with our marketing campaign, production, and legal expenses to make this docudrama. We're using crowdfunding so that everyone knows exactly where the money is going. We're asking that you donate what you can. Our aim is to raise $250,000 to start with. If you are a U.S. citizen, then you can donate through our PayPal giving fund. You can use this as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit, faith-based, and community advocacy organization. Let's keep it a buck. For 32 years, Black America, specifically Black Chicagoans, have rejected and ignored my vision and plan. Case in point, out of 1,999 people that's on my Facebook friends list and in my social groups, only one person have donated towards our film project on our PayPal page, and that is Minister Shalita Sunday. Shout out to that sister. And the reason I'm telling you all this is because that's Willie Lynch in real time. So go on my Facebook page and look at the number of people that's on my friends list, and then go to our PayPal page and see exactly how many people have donated. Anyone that's on my Facebook friends list that's not interested in our cause, which is help stop the genocide in American ghettos, then please delete me from your friends list and don't come to no events with my name on it, and that's real. This is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants within the United States of America from 10 African nations to help speed up the process for us to get this film project fully funded and made and get it popping here in the city of Chicago, so that way we can expand the business to the African continent. Those African nations are as follows: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. At this point, all I have is my revised book, my virtual store, my online groups, and this platform. My film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group, Black Americans, before I cut and run to Africa, because that's going to be my credibility, this business. And when I come to Africa, I don't want to waste time trying to explain who Emmanuel Barbee is. My business will speak for itself. All I'm asking is that African immigrants in America, do me a favor, please purchase my revised book, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition. You can find that on my Amazon page, and you can find all the links to my revised book, my virtual store, our PayPal page, and our GoFundMe page in the comment section below this video podcast. So please read my story. And if you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform and let's talk about it so that we can encourage others to join our cause. That's going to help speed up the process. Also, donate what you can towards our film project. The purpose of me doing all of these video podcasts is to gather like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants in America to work with me in turning my vision and plan into a reality. So that way we can build the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago for our Black youth and their families. And this will also give me credibility to the Black world, so that way they'll know who we are. And while we're making an impact in the African American community, as well as in the African immigrant community, we will bring the best of the diaspora to each African nation so that we can set up local chapters and do international trade among our members. We will reconnect Black entrepreneurs with African entrepreneurs, Black artists with African artists. In this Christian business, our objective is to heal from enslavement and colonization. GRCAM will take the lead in solving Black issues within the United States of America, and then we're going to expand to Africa, the Caribbean, and Brazil. Lord knows I would like to do more than just news and social commentaries, but at this point, all I'm working with is on a shoestring budget. All of my funds go towards rent, food, and bills. Without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my God-given assignment, and that is to build the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. This is a Nehemiah assignment. Again, I do not operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner we can build the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. Once the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then I will be in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, buy office equipment, and hire qualified Black middle-class professionals and African immigrants in Chicago and beyond. Black Americans and African immigrants will build GRCAM of Chicago together. I encourage all of my international friends in my African group, Rakai of Africa, even if you are unable to participate in this event, please watch the replay. Leave a public comment about the topic on my YouTube page and share it with your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. I encourage all of my Christian friends in my Christian group, Light of the World Inspirational Group, and Christian Spoken Word Network. Even if you are unable to participate in this event, please watch the replay. Leave a public comment about it on my YouTube page and share it with all your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. I encourage all of my supporters in my secular groups, the Kai of Chicago, New Black Voices of Media, etc. Even if you are unable to participate in this event, please watch the replay. Leave a public comment about the topic on my YouTube page and share with all your friends on all social media sites that you're on. This will help get the ball rolling. The title of this presentation, GRCAM Virtual Conference, Saturday, May 25th, 2024. Theme, GRCAM Challenge any black politician, any black preacher, male or female, within the United States of America to come on this platform and put me to shame. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Emmanuel Barbee. I am the founder and president of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. I created GRCAM on a site called Gopher back in November 10th, 1991. The purpose, I wanted to connect with other like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants, like-minded Afro-Caribbeans, like-minded Afro-Brazilians, and like-minded Afro-Latinos across the United States and around the globe. And at that time, the internet was only geared toward college students. It really wasn't open for the public like it is today. So this was people that was on college campuses. Our objective is to connect Black artists and African artists, Black entrepreneurs and African entrepreneurs that want to go from being tolerated by others to thriving within the African American community and the African immigrant community before we expand to the African continent. Our objective is to help improve the quality of life for Black youth and their families by providing them with the basic resources of affordable health care, quality community grocery store, quality community health care clinic, quality community housing. Once we get our film project fully funded and made, then I would do my best to get all this stuff to, come to pass. Make sure that I hire qualified Black middle class professionals. We will teach Black families and Black entrepreneurs how to move, travel, and do business in Africa and in the Caribbean. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast is our interactive Black grassroots media component. We discuss controversial topics that you won't hear about from mainstream media. We are committed to reporting truthful and accurate information. We believe that now is the time for a comprehensive new strategy and a new movement for Black people and African people. I use my platform to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups by giving Black business owners free airtime to promote their products and services. I give people in the faith community an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. I give Black authors and ordinary law-abiding citizens an opportunity to share their special talents to my listeners from around the globe. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel to help them earn extra revenue. I also assist people on my friends list with creating basic websites, finding college scholarships, grants, housing, and legal services, all for free. This is the way I give back to the Black community. I offer something that no Black politician has in America, and that is a solution to solve our social problems in America. And I can prove it if given a chance. But we have to build it first. I'm talking about building GRCAM of Chicago. GRCAM of Chicago will offer a 21st century solution within the United States of America, and then we want to expand it to the African continent. I am not going to argue. Instead, I'm going to just cite a few scriptures to back up my claim. That's it. There was a female preacher on my friends list who sent me a message. She did not want to come on camera to debate me, and I respect her wishes. She told me that she did not have any help starting her church. She did it all by herself. I told her in a nice way that was good, but she didn't do it by herself, because without her members, she would be in the same situation that I'm currently in. That's all I'm saying. Now the Bible says, according to Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verses, but thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant with he swore unto thy fathers, as it is this day, unquote. So God give us the power to make wealth. Again, yes, I want to help people, through my Christian business, but also I want to make a living as well. So that's why I'm going to have a nonprofit. That's what I'm focusing on right now. And also I'm going to have a for-profit business. That's where I'm going to make my bread and butter. And that's going to be through our Black Empowerment Films, getting also into real estate so we can buy property and establish our own community grocery store, our own community healthcare clinic, and our own community housing. So that's what we want to get into, as well as having our own studio where we create our own music for our, films. The scriptures to back up my claim for my Christian business, GRCAM of Chicago. All you have to do is read, because I'm not going to go through all of that because it's going to take up more time. So I'm just going to tell you, I use the King James Version, so please use the King James Version. And it was coming from Genesis chapter 15, 13 through 14, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, and Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 11 through 16. Let me give you a little background on why Black Americans have been off code for so long. After the end of antebellum slavery in America, the backstabbers and the coons and the sellouts, they all left the plantation with the rest of our ancestors. Black people should have separated themselves from them. Every Black America has a family member or friend that's fully Willie Lynch, which is a slave mentality that was imposed on us by the white supremacist financial elites. The advantage that European settlers had over us is that they had an agenda for coming over here. The white supremacist financial elite was able to attract other Europeans to come to the United States of America because they gave them incentives such as the Homestead Act, which Dr. King Jr. talked about during his last speech before his assassination. White America tried to whitewash Dr. King Jr.'s image by focusing on his I Have a Dream speech. When he started talking about reparation for descendants of American slaves, then the power that be decided to take his life. If only Black America would have focused more on building an alliance with African immigrants in America and reconnecting with the African continent, then we would have been much better off than we are today. All of that energy used for pushing for social integration and cultural assimilation, that really put us in a bad position. For example, as I mentioned in my revised book, we had more Black businesses under Jim Crow than we do now because many Black Americans today prefer to patronize all these other groups, businesses. Then we wonder why we don't have many Black businesses in our community. Because Black Americans are patronizing other people. That's the problem. And over here, I want to teach my members. That's why I say my members, because we can't help everybody. Everybody's GRCAM is not the voice for Black America. GRCAM is the voice for GRCAM members. Again, we're going to have to separate ourselves from these off-code people among us. From my personal experience, many of my family members are full of Willie Lynch. I only communicate with a handful of them. The rest of them, I keep my distance. That doesn't mean I don't love them, but, it is what it is. They refuse to buy my revised book or items from my virtual store. And that's fine. That's how come I just, keep it moving. I wrote about my experience with my family and how I was able to break that Willie Lynch mentality in my family by taking that step. And that is, what my business is going to be all about. We're going to raise the bar in Black America, and we're going to raise the bar in Africa. And none of my family members will be a part of this. Now, if I'm like that with my own flesh and blood, how do you think I'm going to be with strangers? That's why we're going to screen people. I want to make sure we all are going to be on code and in agreement. And I want to make sure I have no con artists in my business. And that's real. Today, our people have become Americanized or narcissists, which is based on individualism. They care less about the Black community, let alone Black youth. I created the grassroots community activist movement for Black millennials and Generation Z in America and in Africa. I'm using the internet to help mobilize like-minded Black Americans, like-minded Africans, like-minded Afro-Caribbeans, like-minded Afro-Brazilians, and like-minded Afro-Latinos who want to be a part of this new movement in the 21st century. Some of my critics have told me that I have wasted my life reaching out to Black Americans. I I beg to differ. I've earned my stripes to be able to call out Black America because I've been down in the trenches doing what I can to make a real difference in the lives of young Black Americans for the past 32 years, online and in real life. For example, I have been paying out of pocket just to hold this business title since 2010. I paid the city, the state, and the IRS because I believe that my creator will connect me with the right people who have the means to help fund this film project. And I believe I'm going to connect with them through this platform. And they're going to work with me to turn this film into a reality. And they're going to go down in history with me and Sister Renee. That's just how it is. I am not pretending to be on some pedestal looking down at Black people who live in the Black ghettos, because that's where I came from. And I'm part of the soil, trying to connect with other like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants in America to work with me to turn my vision and plan into a reality. We will replicate this Christian business, like I say, on the African continent. Black Americans have been separated by geography from Africa for 400 years. Our inventions have been co-opted by the white supremacist financial elites. Their goal was to convince Black youth that we're not relevant here in America. And that's a lie. Our ancestors is the ones that built the United States of America. Our last battle in America is for reparations for descendants of American slaves. When we talk about reparation, we're talking about economic tangibles. Our collective voice have power. If Black America was on code during the 2020 election and demanded reparations now or no vote, then these career politicians, it would have been a different outcome. Notice all these other groups are taught about their history and legacy. Everyone except us. Instead, our history is being whitewashed by the dominant society. It is what it is because Black America is off code. GRCAM Chicago will compete against Pan-Africanism because Marcus Garvey left God out of his movement. We will not be under the so-called freedom flag, red, black, and green. We will create our own flag and put my ideas into action, so help me God. If it was up to me, GRCAM Chicago would have been up and running years ago, but up and running, and I would say at least we would have had chapters in 10 cities across the United States by now, as well as have a solidified economic foundation in the African American community. I wish that I had more people like Sister Renee working with me to help speed up the process, but again, God give us free will. Sister Renee is a Black American, and she has been working with me for the past 12 years, but she prefers to be behind the scenes, and I respect that. Once we're able to get GRCAM Chicago established in Chicago, Illinois, and before I expanded to the African continent, I want us to dedicate a chapter in honor of Sister Renee in West Memphis, Arkansas, because that's where she's, from. And so out of respect for her, that's what we're going to do. And again, someone's going to play her character in the film. And, she's just a good person. And I love her dearly. In GRCAM Chicago, we will raise the bar in Black America, like I said. We will separate ourselves from con artists, the black boule, democratic shills, degenerates, hardened criminals, off-code Negroes, pedophiles, and urban terrorists. We will engage in business ventures within our inner cities of Chicago, Africa, and the Caribbean. Together, we will seek to celebrate and embrace the promises that Africa holds for people of African descent. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago mission is to eradicate urban violence in Chicago through art, culture, commerce, spiritual development, and hosting African tours and Caribbean tours. GRCAM of Chicago will be committed to strengthening the Black family and the African American community by assisting single Black mothers and single Black fathers with basic resources and quality programs and services such as parenting classes, information technology, blockchain technology, coding, electrician, petroleum engineering, landscaping, creating Black empowerment films, oil painting, and journalism. We also plan on offering an associate's degree as well as vocational training. GRCAM Chicago will help prioritize our goals such as securing our neighborhoods and protecting our women and children. We will offer stipends for Black youth who will act in our Black empowerment films, our music videos, and stage plays. We will also offer a second chance program for former gang members, ex-offenders of nonviolent crimes, and homeless individuals within the community. Our first objective, to get our film project fully funded and made so that we can move our virtual Christian organization from behind the computer and make our presence known in the African American community and in the African immigrant community. On the west side of Chicago, we will cover Austin, Garfield Park, and North Glendale. We will eventually expand to the south side of Chicago. Our second objective, to increase our YouTube subscribers to 20 million. This is the backbone of our success, serving as an unwavering connection of Black Americans, Africans, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Latinos around the globe. Our third objective, expand financial partnership and support. Our vision is to improve the African American community by connecting with other like-minded people. Our fourth objective, to establish chapters in at least 10 major cities in America. It's been 32 years that I've been trying to get it popping here in Chicago. And like I say, it doesn't matter what city I go to, that Willie Lynch is across every inner city in America. But we're going to get it popping here first. And if it happens, cool. If not, hey, I tried. And this is why I want the Black world to know what I've been doing. That's why we want to do this film. Our fifth objective, to expand GRCAM of Chicago to 10 African nations. The Grassroots Community Activist Movement provides a platform to gather like-minded Black Americans, African immigrants, Afro-Caribbeans, and Afro-Latinos for us to build something positive in our community, embrace our art, culture, and commerce. We want to promote economic opportunities in the low-income African American community and in the African immigrant community by being an advocate and resource for our members. Promote GRCAM members' business through marketing initiatives, public relation campaigns, and corporation advertising that will reach local, regional, national, and global markets. GRCAM will function as a support system that empowers the African American community and the African immigrant community, both socially and economically. We will highlight GRCAM members' business during our networking events. We aim to drive tourism to Chicago by promoting a friendly environment within our business and within our community. We will strengthen our ties to the community at large through educational programs and neighborhood incentives that benefit everybody. Once we raise the funds for our film project and the proceeds from the film begins pouring in, then we will train Black artists, African artists, Black entrepreneurs, and African entrepreneurs on how to start and grow a global business where they can work from home, earn a living wage, and achieve a quality of life. We'll teach our members and students about travel and tourism, urban agriculture, real estate, digital content creation, journalism, financial literacy, educational tours, career counseling, accounting, business administration, web/multimedia management, computer graphic, and more. GRCAM Chicago is for Black entrepreneurs and African entrepreneurs looking to expand their business to the global market, in African markets and Caribbean markets. Aspiring investors seeking information, opportunities, and trusted advisors in Africa and in the Caribbean, government officials and policy makers driving economic development initiatives, industry leaders and professionals interested in exploring the African market, innovators and experts in tourism, real estate, agriculture, technology, renewable energy, and infrastructure development. What's the benefit of joining GRCAM of Chicago? GRCAM of Chicago will provide a support system for our members and students by turning their ambitions into a reality. We will make sure that none of my members will never have to endure such foolishness that I have to endure just because I wanted to do something positive in the African American community. And that's real. Seminars and workshops. We will talk about such topics as real estate, tourism, and urban agriculture. Networking opportunities. Build alliances among investors, potential business partners. Our members and students will gain the skills to obtain their life goals. We will offer insightful panel discussions that will be valuable insights through a series of engaging panel discussions. We will connect Black business owners who come through our programs with access to capital, investors, customers from around the globe. My goal is to get GRCAM of Chicago popping here in America first before we expand to Africa. Again, for credibility. I want to make sure that I'm able to sustain myself in Africa as well as bring economic tangibles to my African group members, GRCAM of Africa. I plan on building profitable Black businesses and work with like-minded Black people and African people that want more out of life. GRCAM Chicago will be committed to investing in our Black youth through our interactive space as well as our travel and tourism component. Under our travel and tourism component of the business, we will aim to instill a sense of purpose and self-worth among our members and students by helping them become critical thinkers in order for them to make positive choices in their personal life. GRCAM Chicago wants to nurture our members and students' natural talents and promote a safe and supportive environment. Our goal is to break the cycle of senseless violence and criminal activity by providing basic resources and services to Black youth and their families, while at the same time improving the low-income African American community, which will give our youth a more productive future. That's all I'm trying to do. Know what I'm saying? But again, I don't want to sit up here and be doing this another 32 years and keep talking about the stuff. I mean, I wrote the vision and made it plain. But again, I can't make people buy my revised book. I can't make Black people patronize items from my virtual store. And I can't make Black Americans donate to our film project. The white man is not stopping them from doing that. That's a personal choice. And that's just how it is. So I'm doing my best, and this is how come I'm trying to reach out to African immigrants. You know what I'm saying? But we got to get it popping here first, because this is where I'm at. I understand the importance of providing alternatives and opportunities for Black youth and their families who may face challenges and adverse circumstances. This is why we will offer educational resource, mentoring programs, and career guidance. We will equip our members and students with the tools, skills, and support they need to overcome life obstacles and thrive. We believe in the power of experiential learning, where participants can directly apply their knowledge, develop critical skills, and build meaningful connections by incorporating innovative teaching methods, interactive discussions, and real-world scenarios. We ensure that our programs not only educate but also captivate and inspire the youth that we will serve. We have to distance ourselves from those who engage in criminal behavior. This is why I said we're going to raise the bar in Black America and use our Black media to expose anyone who tries to undermine us. A lot of our Black professionals, the Black boule, degenerates, and Democrat shields are in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites in order to mislead and undermine us. If you don't support your advocates, then you won't have any advocates. We have serious racial disparities when it comes to public education, healthcare, employment, and housing, because we don't have enough people out here who care enough to advocate for Black children and their families. On this platform, we're determined to amplify our voices and to reaffirm our commitment to the cause. Help stop the genocide in American ghettos, starting in Chicago. The Black hair care industry is our generational wealth, but we are allowing Asians, specifically Koreans, to dominate that market. Notice, we're not selling hair products. They're not selling hair products to their own people. They are making money off Black women. We have access to the internet. There's no excuse why we don't have more Black women selling hair products online. Sisters who are GRCAM members come together and help gatekeep our culture by patronizing only Black businesses that cater to Black hair. That's one way how we can gatekeep our culture. Once we have our physical building intact, then we will encourage local residents on the west side of Chicago to attend our mandatory orientation, sign our community pledge, pass our criminal background checks, and submit their thumbprints to be placed in our database. Anyone who tries to change our focus and that is our focus is on solving black issues, will get 2 warnings. The third time, that person's name, photo ID, and address will be printed on our Judas list and for everybody to see it, and they will be barred for life. Again, this is how I get down. Anyone that's not a part of us, we will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. When I created my nonprofit organization, many of my family members told me to get a quote-unquote real job. And that's code for work for the man and leave all that black stuff alone. My message is for GRCAM members worldwide. I had little to no support. This is why I'm online trying to recruit brave and smart, like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants to come forth and work with me while I'm alive. Don't wait till I'm dead. Work with me. Help turn this thing into a reality so that way I can bring this business over to the African continent. GRCAM of Chicago will be a multi-purpose facility with 2 main sectors, a nonprofit sector and a for-profit sector. GRCAM of Chicago will operate under 9 separate functions under one roof. We will practice group economics in real time by pooling our resources together in order to create and own our own community healthcare center, our own community grocery store, and our own community housing. And GRCAI also is going to be a multi-purpose facility. So we're going to do many functions in this facility. And the 9 components is as follows: a social service component, a spiritual component, which is going to be optional for secular people. The Grassroots Community Activist Movement is an interactive virtual Christian socialist organization using my Christian groups and my secular groups. It's about kingdom building, global Black unity, and Black economic empowerment in order to solve social problems within the African American community and throughout the diaspora. For me, Christian socialism is an authentic form of Christianity. A Christian socialist is a form of socialism based on the teaching of Jesus. We believe that capitalism is idolatrous and rooted in greed, social inequality, and institutionalized racism, which for most Christian denominations is considered a moral sin. We will focus on what we stand for: love, compassion, social justice, and liberation theology. Jesus told us to focus on the least of these in society, according to Matthew chapter 25, verse 35 through 40. He also commanded us to be witness to others, not just for us to read his word, but to activate social change in the world, according to Matthew chapter 28, verse 16 through 20. We will be committed to the healing ministry of Jesus by showing compassion to inner city youth and their families, which will promote dignity to the people and community we will serve. We will promote an authentic form of Christianity, and for me, that's Christian socialism. We will emphasize the importance of moral and character development for both Christians and non-Christians. We will focus on strengthening the Black family while improving the Black community. by focusing on solving Black issues on a domestic front and on a international front. We'll focus on the areas of economics, education, family, religion, entertainment, employment, media, and politics. Number three, we'll have a political component. Number four, an entertainment component. Number five, an entrepreneur component. Under our entrepreneur component, entrepreneurs who looking to expand their business into developing African markets and urban neighborhoods in America, aspiring investors seeking informed opportunities and trusted advisors in
Okay, so what does all this mean? I try to time myself, because yes, it's a lot of information. And yes, I read my speeches without shame because I want to make sure that I'm touching base on important things. But the bottom line, I'm just doing the best that I can to get this thing moved to the next level. I'm dedicated to this. This is not a game to me. Again, the reason why I use the title, Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos, because you can't sugarcoat genocide. It is what it is. Over here is not about me making people laugh and, trying to have a lot of people on my friends list, and also on my YouTube page just to be seen and trying to be popular. That's not what I'm about. I'm about solving things, but I want to connect with other smart people that's going to come work with me with clean hands, because I come before everybody with clean hands. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not running for public office. I want to encourage those of you, if you want to listen to or read my full speech, just go to my Medium page and select the exact title of this presentation. And you can you can read it, because I wrote it all out. And I do that for all of my presentations. So join me over there on my Medium page, and you can find my Medium page if you go to my YouTube page and scroll down to where it says links. It's going to be first, you will go to my YouTube page. You'll see my picture and me holding my book. And so on my right-hand side, that's where you would click where it says more links. And there you will find my Medium page, and just look for the exact presentation that I'm doing now in order to read everything. Also, I cite all my sources because I come with receipts. I just want to mention before I open up the phone lines that I don't want my members living in no urban war zone. That's not cool at all. You know what I'm saying? This is why we're going to get it popping here first in Chicago, like I say, for credibility, so that way we can purchase property on the African continent and also in the Caribbean. Excuse me. As well as get it popping over there too in Brazil. We want to get property there and make our presence known there. I can't do all these things. I'm just one Black man with a vision and a plan. Again, it takes a team to make a dream work. But over here, we're going to separate ourselves from people that don't mean us any good. It's a lot of people that's on my Facebook groups. It's just there just to be seen. And that's fine. Just we're going to leave those people behind. So I need you all that's serious about this whole thing. Purchase my book. Help get my revised book on that bestsellers list so that way the Black world can take us serious. That was nice, what our grandparents did, back in the 60s in terms of the civil rights movement. That was very powerful. But we can't keep looking back. We got to focus on what's going on now, today. And that's what GRCAM is all about. The 21st century. And we're using the internet to get our message out. Now, I do want to mention a couple of things before I open up this phone line. One thing is some of my group members was using the term B1, which is Black First. And, that's cool. And, I said it a few times too on some of my past video podcasts, but I have to set the record straight. Over here, we're M1. That means we're melanated first because, it was the white supremacist financial elites that imposed that term on us, Black. So, we want to be able to empower ourselves and take back those words. So we M1 over here. Melanated first. Also, I just have to keep it real. You do not remain in a country that enslaved your ancestors. You're not going to get any justice from descendants of slave owners. Those are the white supremacist financial elites that's currently in power. This is why they take Black Americans as a joke. And Black Americans that has been, I would say, that internalized, that's Americanized. They're looking at Africa as a third world country, and so they want to just stay here and fight. Our house is on fire here. I would say Black Wall Street should be our wake-up call. I mean, my goodness, it doesn't matter what we build here. We're always going to be sabotaged. That's just bottom line. And as long as Black Americans remain in America, you and I will be treated as third and fourth class citizens. That's just how it is. I don't like it neither. But God has given us an alternative. We need to work with our, I would say, African immigrants that's already here in America. That's who I'm trying to reach out to learn their culture and for them to learn ours. And that's for credibility, and especially when we go to the motherland, not going over there by yourself. That's not good if you don't know anyone over there. Again, we've been separated from the motherland for 400 years. So that's how come I want to connect with African immigrants here in America. I had a few African immigrant friends in high school and in college, but I'm just saying, now I really want to real connections with them to do business and for us to, replicate the kind of Chicago on the African continent. But I want us to get it popping here in Chicago first. That's all I'm saying. So that's very important. Everybody is not going to be able to leave America. I'm just saying Black Americans, and it is what it is. Especially we don't want those coons over there, and troublemakers. But I want to be able to give Black parents options. So that way they can raise their family with dignity and in peace. Again, when we go over to the African continent, we want to first start with South Africa. So I'm definitely encouraging South Africans that's here in America to please step up, work with me, and first purchasing Purchase my revised book. Read my story for yourself. This is something physical that you can hold. I'm not just, selling, a dream. Um, you purchase the book, you're going to get the book. You purchase items from my virtual store, such as this shirt, you're going to get the shirt. So you're going to get something physical. But I want to move from behind the computer. I don't want to be doing this another 32 years. And it's up to you. The burden is not on me anymore because I've done all I can do humanly possible on my end. I wrote the vision and made it plain. I have a physical book out here. It's been on Amazon now for 12 years and still barely selling. It's a shame. It's not cool, but that's just how it is. And we have to change that. I don't want to just sit up here and just be running off at the mouth. I want to hear from you all, especially people that's on my friends list, and join the grassroots community activist movement, because you're the people that's going to make this thing happen. All I am is just, the voice of GRCAM. Yes, I created it, but again, I can't do all of this stuff alone. And I'm not ashamed to reach out to encourage my members worldwide to be a part of this. All I'm saying is that I don't want any con artists up in this business, and we're going to do our best to make sure that it becomes corruption free, that no corruption is going to be up in this business, because that's how they can take you down. These quote unquote financial elites. We're not trying to take over the world. We're not trying to take over America. As far as I'm concerned, Black Americans that want to stay here and continue to fight, to each his own. As for me and my house, I want to reclaim my ancestral homeland, which is Africa. But I don't want to go to Africa empty-handed. I want to get my business popping here in America first for credibility. Get it popping here, then I can get it popping over there. So with that being said, I'm going to open up the phone lines. And if you call in, you only can talk about the issues that I discuss. In my past, people want to come on here and they just they didn't watch side A. So I'm telling them, well, what you calling in for if you don't know what the topic is? If you haven't watched the video podcasts. So I try my best to work with people. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard to figure out. This is side A. Side B is for you to come on here. If you don't feel comfortable about being on camera, I will try to make some exceptions. But if I don't really know you, if you're a troll, then I don't want to be wasting time. I'm gonna call you out and just delete you. But again, this is why it's very important that GRCAM members, you do your part, because I'm doing the best that I can. I'm documenting what I'm doing. This is real to me, and I'm grateful to my Creator, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ / Yahshua. He's the one that gave me the vision in the first place. But he gave it to me, and I'm claiming ownership. And so just doing the best I can to use this technology wisely. And definitely excited about getting this film out there. And once we get the film project fully funded and made, then that will put me in a better position so I can purchase property here in the city of Chicago and just use that money wisely to hire qualified Black middle-class professionals. I thank you all for listening and your time. I know that, some of you are parents. You don't have a lot of time on your hands and all that stuff. But again, you can always listen to the replay. And also, I need to mention too, those of you that's on the African continent, I would suggest that you would just listen to the podcast on Spotify, because it won't eat up your bundles as much as the videos. And so that's how come I keep encouraging people to exchange emails with me, so that way you'll know everything that I do online. You'll have access to all my social groups. You can have access to my transcript on my Medium page, and things will be so much faster. But we have to be on one accord. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why people don't want to exchange emails, but it is what it is. I just respect your wishes. But once I would say the Lord opened up the doors for me, I'm not going to have time to sit up here and be as patient as I've been, because I'm 32 years behind schedule. That's not cool at all. But right now, work with me while I'm still quote unquote small. Okay. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start side B. I'm gonna wait around for about 10 minutes. And if I don't hear from anybody, that's fine. It is, we will conclude the show for today. But again, I do this every month, so people shouldn't act all surprised like they don't know. If you're serious about what I'm talking about, then come on this show. Work with me and Sister Renee so we can move to the next level. Because next month will be 6 months. And again, I almost have 2,000 people on my Facebook friends list. I'm grateful that, more people are, sending me friend requests and all that. But I need more people to come on the show. I need more people to subscribe to my YouTube page. And I need people to purchase the book. If you don't buy the book, what can I tell you? If you really want to be a GRCAM member, purchase the book and read my story for yourself. This is gonna legitimize you as being a GRCAM member because you bought this book. That means you invested, and I'm proud of you for that. All I'm asking you to do is just agree with the vision. If you disagree, stand on that. But if you disagree, you can't be a part of this business. That's all. Because I want people that's in agreement and for us to move forward. Those that just want to sit up here and complain about the white man and the government, that's on you. We can still make progress without just sitting up. The United States government owes Black Americans reparations. We could still push for reparations on the African continent. And we will have more support because we are the majority in Africa. But all I'm saying is if you're serious about being a GRCAM member, purchase this book first. Read my story. Because everything that's in that book, that's what we're going to carry out to the fullest. And that's all I'm trying to do is make that happen. I'm not interested in writing more books. I'm interested in getting this film project fully funded and made so we can get it popping here in America. And our sequel of the film is going to be made in South Africa. And I'm going to lead by example. because I'm going to apply for dual citizenship in South Africa once, you know, I generate enough capital from, this film project and through the business and getting it popping here in America first, because I'm not just going to run to Africa empty handed. I want to make sure that I can sustain myself, that I can hire locals and convince them to become GRCAM members, as well as people that's already in my African group, GRCAI of Africa. So I want to be able to hire those persons, but they have to be active members. If they just in there just to be seen, that's not going to count. So over here, again, I want to interact with my members and people on my friends list. I want to encourage everyone that's on my friends list to become GRCAM members. And again, those of you that are not interested in trying to solve Black issues, please delete me off your friends list and don't come to no events with my name on it. That's all. So the ball is in your court, Black grassroots and global African family. What are you going to do? Are we going to get this film project fully funded this year? Because again, I have almost 2,000 people on my friends list, and only one person have donated to the film project. That's not my fault. People got free will. So what are we going to do? GRCAM members, I need you to step up. Bottom line. In terms of fear and all that stuff, you don't have nothing to be afraid of. We're not bugging anyone. We mind our own Black business. We're not saying no hate speech. You know what I'm saying? All I'm trying to do is build something for our youth. Get it popping for them and give them options. And most of all, for us to make that connection on the motherland. Okay? With that being said, we're opening up the phone lines now. Thank you all for listening, and I hope to hear from you all, especially on side B. If not, then just leave comments in the comment section below this video podcast and share it with all your friends. I'm asking all my Christian friends to pray that this video podcast will go viral, so that way I can do my job. That's all I'm trying to do. With that being said, we're finna open up the phone lines now. Thank you all for listening, and now we're going into side B. Peace and blessings, and I'll be looking for you all for our next video podcast episode. And that's going to conclude side A, and we're going to start side B right now, momentarily.